Hello gamers, and welcome to my Season 11 Jhin guide. Jhin was already a top tier ADC in Season 10, and the Season 11 items rework only amplified this to make him the standout top performing ADC. Here's how you build and play Jhin in Season 11. For runes, you'll be taking Dark Harvest as your keystone since it synergizes well with your bursty build. It also works exceptionally well with the Collector since Dark Harvest only procs on low health targets and is highly likely to end up leaving a target below 5% HP for the Collector execute to kick in. Next, you'll want Taste of Blood for improved trading, Eyeball Collector, and Ravenous Hunter for its huge sustain now that it acts as lifesteal as well as spell vamp. For your secondary tree, you have the option of either Precision or Sorcery. From Precision, your options are Triumph, Presence of Mind, Overheal, Bloodline, Coup de Grace, or Cut Down. In Sorcery, your options are Mana Flow Band, Nimbus Cloak, Celerity, Absolute Focus, or Gathering Storm. For stats, pick up double Adaptive Force, then either Armor or Amar. Most of the time you'll want Armor, but on the rare occasion that you're facing a mage bot, you'll optimally want to switch to Amar. For Summoners, you'll want the standard Flash, then your options are between Heal, Cleanse, and Exhaust. Heal is the most useful summoner for ADCs in most situations, but Cleanse can be very important against high CC opponents such as Varus, Ashe, or Leona. As an immobile champion, you have no easy way to dodge their skillshot CC, meaning Cleanse is almost essential for avoiding engages without having to entirely concede the lane. Exhaust is also very useful in matchups against bursty ADCs or those who want to go all in, such as Tristana or Draven. By crippling their damage when they commit to a fight, it can potentially cause them to lose the fight before they get their full power back, denying them the ability to force winning fights that their champions should naturally have. For starting items, your options are between Doran's Blade and Boots and 4 pots. Boots should mainly be considered if you think you might need the sustain of the pots, and the move speed may also come in handy for dodging key skill shots too. The reason Boots is viable as a starting item on Jhin, but not on any other ADC, is because of how much pressure it helps Jhin exert with his 4th shot. Given that it's basically on a timer and you don't want to hold on to it indefinitely, the faster you can get it off the better, and Boots help you get in range for it a lot more easily in scenarios where the enemy bot are trying to avoid trading with you while it's active. For this reason, it's also viable as a general starting item, but most favor the standard Doran's Blade and reserve Boots for certain matchups only. For your first backs, you should aim for Noonquiver and Pickaxe, aiming to build towards Gale Force, with both Eclipse and Duskblade having been nerfed many times now. Gale Force's active will provide invaluable burst and mobility depending on how you need to use it, and help you get in range for 4th shots while also increasing the execute damage your 4th shot will deal by dealing some extra damage before it lands. For Boots, your best choice will be Boots of Swiftness, as the movement speed is incredibly useful for landing Jhin's 4th shot, as I've already explained, and seeing as Berserker's Greaves don't give quite the DPS boost to Jhin as they do to other ADCs. Next up, you'll want to pick up Collector due to its great synergy with Dark Harvest, and being both a crit and a lethality item, with both stats being great on Jhin. For third item, you'll want to proceed to build Infinity Edge now that you have enough crit to make its passive come into effect, and Fire Cannon is an excellent choice thereafter because of how much poke you get from hitting a crit, or especially a 4th shot, from afar. For your final item, Stormrazor is an excellent choice in your average game due to how cheap it is and no more core items taking priority anymore, but you can also swap this out for situational items. Your situational items on Jhin will be Guardian Angel or Bloodthirster for general survivability, Lord Dominik's Regards for armor penetration, Mortal Reminder for anti-heal, Mercurial Scimitar for the QSS active, Maw of Malmortius for magic resist, and Edge of Night for avoiding hard to avoid engages like Malphite ult, which cannot be dealt with just QSS. One cool thing to note here is that, though this isn't well known, casting QSS during airborne CC such as knockups or knockbacks allows you to thereafter cast any blink or dash, and this interrupts the CC. On an ADC like Jhin, this is usually tied to your flash cooldown since you don't have an inbuilt dash or blink, but now you can use QSS plus Gale Force to escape airborne CC such as knockups or knockbacks, or even pulls like Blitzhook, on just a 90-second cooldown without requiring you to commit your flash. This is an incredibly invaluable interaction between the two actives, which means you can now consider QSS against abilities like Nautilus Ult, which are otherwise uncounterable, so long as you have Gale Force. Jhin excels in the early game. His trades without 4th shot are decent, and with it are incredibly powerful. Always combo any CC or support lands with your W before they get a chance to move for extended CC and extra damage. Trade with an auto attack followed by Q, or if you have 4th shot, Q followed by 4th shot for extra damage from the execute. Look to Q the casters when they're grouped up if the 4th bounce will hit the enemy carry for free poke without a chance of retaliation. After bloody trades or fights where the enemy bot lane is left below half HP but disengages, use your ultimate to try and either get a kill or force them out of lane without having to put yourself at risk. Each shot does more damage to low HP targets, so the lower they are, the higher the damage potential behind the ultimate, even if you feel like you're unlikely to get a kill. Additionally, consider using it to follow up a jungler's gank if you're too far away to auto attack. The biggest difference between lesser and greater Jhin players is undoubtedly in their traps usage. Drop your traps in obvious places that the enemy will have to step in either during fights or while fishing for poke or engages, such as to the sides of the waves or in bushes where additionally they will provide vision. Look to block off the most likely paths the enemy jungler will take while looking to gank you. The hitbox on the traps is massive, so a single trap in the right general location will likely be popped by them and hit them with a massive slow, which will enable you to escape. Don't just use your traps for wave clear because their utility when set up in key locations is immense. Outside of laning phase, look to provide utility for your team through W, poke, and CC. Continue to place traps in areas where enemies are likely to step through and use them to provide vision of potential flank routes the enemy might take to stop them in their tracks. Provide DPS in teamfights, and use your ultimate to either follow up and engage from afar or to catch out fleeing enemies at the end of a one team fight. That's the end of my Season 11 Jhin guide. I didn't want to go too in depth, but I hope you guys found it helpful and have a better grasp of how to build and play Jhin in Season 11. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe for more guides and high-low gameplay videos, and check out my links in the description to find me on other platforms. Until next time, gamers.